Sure, stuffed crust pizza is exactly what it sounds like. You just tuck a ring of cheese into the dough around the edge, but there's a lot that can go wrong, leaks of various kinds. I think I've worked out a pretty reliable method here. Dough is my normal recipe in the description. I am making it via the well method today for no particular reason. And for stuffed crust, I think it helps to knead in a little extra flour. It should be sticky, but just a little sticky, like that. A drier dough like that will be stronger, less likely to tear and leak. And where I would normally divide this much dough into 4 pizzas, I'm doing 3. You need a little extra dough per pizza to wrap that ring. And I'm not putting any olive oil in the bowl where I will rise this. I find oil on the dough ball surface can make it harder to get a good seal around the cheese. Let those rise. To make stuffed crust, we need string cheese. My brand is back. I love this kind. String cheese has been worked so that its proteins line up in these long parallel threads, and it comes out of the machines in these big long coils. Certainly, a lot of the pros use the whole unbroken coil for stuffed crust, but we can just line these pieces up end to end. These are too thick for me for a home oven-sized pizza, so I'm cutting them in half. You can leave them whole. Maybe you can handle that much dairy. I'll chill these, and I'm thrilled to use string cheese for the top of my pizza, too. The whole milk, low moisture version of this brand is my favorite pizza cheese. Galbani sells a block version, but it is not the same as the string version. I think this is better. It's drier. It's sharper. Yes, I cut it into weird pellets. Chill those. My sauce is just this brand of crushed tomatoes with some olive oil, dried herbs, pinch of sugar. Now check this, a pizza screen. It only costs a few bucks. 14-inch diameter like this is a good maximum size for a home oven. I would either plan to bake on one of these or on parchment paper. You will see why. Here's my dough after 2 days of cold rise in the fridge. You could do 2 hours on the counter instead, but I think this tastes better and it'll be easier to work with cold. Right on the counter, I am rolling this out. No flour dusting. I want it to stick to the counter. The sticking will keep it from snapping back like a rubber band. I'm trying to get it pretty evenly round and a little wider than my screen is. Not quite there yet. Push down hard from the middle, then push out. Hand stretching would not get the outer ring thin enough for stuffed crust. There we go. I'm going to peel that off the counter. If the dough wasn't cold, it'd be more likely to tear right here. Now, on top of the screen this goes, and I'll try to position it as evenly over the screen as possible. We need a lot of very thin excess dough around the edge to fold over and seal the cheese. So I'm just rolling out the skirt that's hanging over the edge there. Again, I want it to stick. The counter is keeping it stretched out for me. It's important that you have a lot of excess all the way around. I've got a short bit there, so I'm tearing excess from elsewhere and grafting it on. There you go. Looks like we flayed somebody alive. Time for our cheese ring. Around and around and around we go. 3, 4, and wet with water, and wet with water. Now fold and crimp and fold and crimp. If you don't have a ton of excess folded back onto the interior of the pizza like this, the cheese ring is very likely to leak into the center. Having a lot of excess also means that you don't have to stretch the dough so tight over the cheese that it might tear and then leak through the outer side or the bottom. Over here, I've got some butter in a pan, and I'm going to put in some herbs and spices and enough salt to make it sandy in there. Since this pizza will have a lot of untopped crust, we might as well make that surface taste better, top and sides all over. And now that everything is greasy and your fingertips won't stick to the dough, you can go back and press hard to seal the cheese ring in there. It's taken us a long time to prepare this pizza, and if it was just sitting on a wooden or metal peel right now, it would be hopelessly stuck by the time we tried to shimmy it into the oven. This is why for stuffed crust, I think it makes a lot of sense to bake on a screen or directly on parchment paper. Sauce is on, Parmesan from the can. Sorry, that's just the taste of pizza to me. Use what you want. Now, here's my weird mozzarella pellets. You don't have to do this. The reason I'm doing it is my new oven has proved to be kind of disappointing for pizza making. It just doesn't get hot enough. By the time my crust is brown, my cheese has overheated and squeezed out buckets of orange grease. By putting chilled cheese on in huge chunks, I am significantly slowing the melting process. My oven's on full blast, and I preheated my baking steel for an hour. Without a steel or a stone, the bottom would not brown. I also find I need to switch to the broiler halfway through with this oven. That's the top element, but every oven is different. This oven also just doesn't seem to get much heat onto the sides of things on any setting, but that still looks pretty darn good. Oh, hey, it's my lovely wife, Lauren. What's she got there? Now, when a certain well-known restaurant chain does stuffed crust pizza, they are using a special blend designed to hold its shape when heated. This cheese is going to flatten and give off steam that makes a hollow dome above it. But I don't think that's a bad thing. That cavity makes for kind of a croissant-like texture as you bite down through it. The pizza screen has given the bottom a golden finish that reminds me of airport pizza. Screens are popular in food service, but I kind of dig that for stuffed crust. Feels appropriate somehow.
Cheers.
And hey, if you like pizza, consider buying Lauren's latest YA novel. It's kind of a cheesy love story in bookstores everywhere as of today.
Should I do an Adam Ragusa?
I suppose this is not officially a sponsorship that I need to disclose, but, we're married, so we share the money.
Well, here, I'll go like this. The idea came from a viral story about a woman who gave birth in a Chick-fil-A. The book is about a girl who was born on the bathroom floor of a locally owned pizza parlor called Hot and Crusty Pizza. She is gifted free pizza for life and a guaranteed job when she turns 16, and we open on her 16th birthday when she's about to start the job, and she really does not want to. Well, it was a long gestation because I started writing this in fall of 2018.
Indeed.
Which is before Adam went viral for pizza.
Yes. You will think that she is exploiting all of this here, okay?
But he exploited me.
Indeed, yes. Although actually the fact that I was making pizza obsessively before the YouTube thing happened, is that why you were thinking of pizza when you wrote a book?
Probably. I mean, I'm sure it's all connected. So the reason we're making stuffed crust pizza is because it is sort of a long-running joke in the book that at this pizza place, at the end of every shift, they keep finding stuffed crust pizza in the restaurant, but they don't make stuffed crust pizza at Hot and Crusty, so they're always trying to figure out who is bringing in pizza from another pizza place. So the book is out today. You can buy it wherever books are sold. If you look in the link in the bottom situation, you can get a signed copy if you order from Little Shop of Stories in Decatur, Georgia. I will be signing books there on Saturday, March 13th, so if you order by then, your copy will arrive signed. And there's a link down below for that. Buy my book! Please don't use that.
You got it, honey. I'm proud of you.